From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Don Mitchell. A spokesperson for a BC ostrich farm says it will ask the Supreme Court of Canada to stop the culling of 400 birds hit by avian flu. Katie Pasitny says about 20 people outside the farm right now are waiting for what's next to come after a federal court of appeal yesterday ruled the cull must proceed.
Everybody's just offering tons of love and support to one another, and everybody's here in unity and strength for standing up for something that is we all believe in. These animals shouldn't die.
The Canadian Food Inspection Agency had ordered the slaughter in December of last year during an outbreak of H5N1 avian flu that killed 69 ostriches. About 400 students could be without an elementary school to go to this coming week after a fire broke out last night in Prévost, Quebec.
The town's fire department was notified about the blaze at the Val-de-Mont Elementary School just before 8 p.m. on Friday. Prévost Mayor Paul Germain says no one was inside the building when fire broke out. The Quebec minister responsible for the region says a crisis team has been created to determine what will happen next for the students and staff of the school. So far, the cause of the fire is unknown, but 80 firefighters from surrounding municipalities took part in efforts to put it out. Lisa Laporte, the Canadian Press.
Meanwhile, the owner of a Montreal electric school bus that caught fire this week says it found a wiring issue within the bus manufacturer's system.
A Lion electric school bus caught fire in Montreal with several children and a driver inside at the time, but no one was injured. The Montreal bus fire is Lion's third electric school bus fire since November. First Student says in a statement it identified the wiring issue and flagged it to both Lion and Transport Canada. Now, inspectors are examining all 1,200 Lion electric buses in Quebec through the weekend after the provincial government pulled them from the roads. John Kennedy, the Canadian Press.
Toronto police say they've arrested 6 people at a pro- and anti-immigration demonstration as the opposing groups faced off at a park today. Police say one person was arrested for assault, but they did not reveal the reason for the other arrests. Hundreds of pro-immigration ralliers gathered at Toronto's Christie Pitts Park in the early afternoon in response to a demonstration encouraging mass deportations and nationalism called Canada First. City Councillor Diane Sachs posted a statement on social media ahead of the protest in the planning stages last month, calling it a hate demonstration. And protesters organized by far-right activist Tommy Robinson in the UK today drew more than 100,000 people in London and became unruly. A small group of his supporters clashed with police officers who were separating them from counter-protesters. Protester Farah Idris says she's marching for democracy.
Well, it's important to march for our freedoms. There's people who have marched before us, and we want to be able to live in a democratic society.
At least 9 people were arrested, but police indicated that many other offenders had been identified and will be held accountable. This is the Canadian Press. In sports and the CFL, the Saskatchewan Roughriders are aiming to become the first team to qualify for the playoffs when they host the reeling Montreal Alouettes tonight. The Riders lead the league with a 10-2 record and could guarantee themselves a postseason spot with a win. Alicia Corrigan scored 2 tries in a dominant first half as Canada routed Australia 46-5 in the Women's Rugby World Cup quarterfinals in Bristol, England. The second-ranked Canadians will now face defending champion New Zealand in the semis on Friday. Esther Okaron and Kaylee Hunter each scored twice as AFC Toronto piled up 6 second-half goals in a 7-0 thumping of the Vancouver Rise in the Northern Super League. And all 3 Canadian teams are on the pitch tonight in Major League Soccer. Toronto is on the road taking on the New England Revolution. CF Montreal is hosting St. Louis, and the Vancouver Whitecaps are just a win away from clinching the team's 3rd straight playoff appearance. They host Philadelphia at BC Place tonight. From the Canadian Press, I'm Don Mitchell.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.